you have to be disciplined enough, and that's where I call myself the CEO of Common Sense.
Welcome to Verdicts Vogue. I'm Cristina Perez, and today I'm here with Paula Fosbinder.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there.
And so we are not talking to an attorney, but we're talking to a very important part of many of our cases, and that is the legal funding part. Paula, tell us what you do and who you're with.
Okay. I am the COO of Legal Case Funding, and what we do plaintiff non-recourse pre-settlement loans for plaintiffs who are waiting for their cases to settle. We work hand in hand with the client as well as the law firm and the attorney, the paralegals, their staff, to get them just a small little bridge advance to get to the end of their case, essentially.
Sure.
And then we get paid back when the case settles.
If the case settles, non-recourse, or if it doesn't settle favorably, we do have to take a reduction. And for those who don't know, non-recourse means?
If the case does not settle, we don't get paid back.
So there's a lot to unpack. I know you've been with Legal Case Funding since what year?
I took over in 2022.
But before 2022, you were still involved in the PI world.
Yes.
When did you start in the PI world?
I actually started in 1999.
Counting.
But I worked as a paralegal, litigation paralegal.
Who'd you work for?
It was in Nebraska before we moved here. And then I did work for him after we moved here, which opened up a whole nother door for when the whole pre-settlement loans started. In 2005, Denny Wirtz was my husband at the time, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, there's this company out there, national company, they're doing these pre-settlement loans." We had some capital at the time, and we thought we would start doing them locally so that it would be more of a intimate relationship versus a national relationship.
And I'll tell you, I had the pleasure of meeting Denny. He had a huge personality. Huge personality. And I met him through Tammy Mills. Mm-hmm. And Tammy is a paralegal. She's worn a lot of hats. She's a friend of mine. And
mine too.
Yeah. So she's a friend of ours.
Yes.
And she introduced me to Denny. I want to say sometime maybe in like 2018, 19, maybe 18 when I started. Well, I had already started doing personal injury, but by that time I was just getting myself out there in like the personal injury space in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And so I happened to meet Denny, and he was bigger than life.
Absolutely.
And he had the ability to just bring people in. Very captivating.
Yes.
He reminded me a lot of one of my uncles on my dad's side, like uncle-in-law, where he was just so like gregarious and
exactly
had such a laugh and just kind of like, it was hard not to like him.
He wanted everyone to be happy.
Sure.
Like he knew how to read a room, right? He knew if someone needed to be pulled in, and, if he was at an event and he saw someone off in the distance, he'd yank that person in. He was that person to make things happen.
And so you were married to Denny from what years to what years?
So we got married in 1996.
Okay.
And we ended our marriage, which was amicable, in 2015.
Okay.
And at that time, I just signed off on the business. We had another funding company called Absolute Legal Funding that we had started in 2005. Mm-hmm. So we ran that for 10 years. I just signed off on the business and let him.
And then in 2015, what were you doing?
Oh my gosh. I started a lifestyle management business.
What does that mean?
Right?
I want to know. I'm curious.
People that are super busy managing their careers, their families, their lives,
I
Yeah.
need one.
Yep. I would be the one that made
Sophia's
all
my
the
lifestyle.
schedule.
She's
Yep.
my lifestyle manager.
Exactly.
She manages my life.
Exactly. That's what I did, from making sure that the cleaning ladies were scheduled to the car maintenance to they would hand me their credit cards and have me go buy gifts for their family. I mean,
Paula,
some of it
there's so much more that Sophia can do. Like she hates me right now. There's so much more. So, no. Sophia has been. We've been together since 2011. She started as a legal assistant, and she is now the chief operating officer of our office. So she manages 20 people, right? So she's not going to be buying my gifts anytime,
She needs an assistant.
right?
But so that's what I was doing for that.
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh,
This
okay.
is fun.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I keep it easy. I keep it easy and I ask, as long as you allow me not to talk about something. If you don't want me to talk about it, I can say it, but yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
where's my water bottle?
Oh, we had to move it. It was in the shot. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, cheers.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah.
Oh, that was interesting.
What
happened? Yeah, no, I just saw it. I don't know how long ago it went out.
It was brief.
Okay.
So, and I don't think it, so we're good. We, you can pick that up.
Where do we leave off?
You were talking about Sophia being a Wonder Woman, and
She is a wonderful.
She is. And she knew Denny too.
I did.
You did? I'm sure then.
I used to.
They worked.
Oh, wait, so let's,
Who didn't know that man?
okay. So let's go back on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on. Okay. So who didn't know that man? I didn't know you knew Denny.
Many years ago.
Really? So
I mean,
That's
who
a-
didn't know him? I mean, he was a pillar in our PI community. He was literally, he started grassroots from the, building his little network of people. And that was amazing. While me in the background back in 2005, 6, 7, I'm sitting there managing the business, putting ads on Craigslist for plaintiffs, looking for people that need funding. It was very small.
So I always say in those types of situations, right? So my husband and I, we're very different personalities. He is the person that keeps things together. He always says, I keep the wheels on the bus. I am like the dreamer, the visionary. I'm the one that goes and says, I want to do this. And then they have to figure out how to get it done, right? So it's like kind of like, I want to do this, or I think this would be a great idea. This is a great opportunity. And then I always say, we can do it. But Sophia and Chris are the ones that make sure they get it done. And without them, a dreamer is just a dreamer.
Right.
So it's a great team.
Yes.
So it sounds like you were the person that was keeping the wheels on the bus.
Correct.
Okay. Now, did you work together after your divorce, after you signed off?
There was we had a lot of communication over those years because there were cases that I had knowledge of that we had funded. So we had a lot of that, of course. And then Denny was never out of my life. He would show up at Thanksgiving with pies, at my house. When it was my birthday or Mother's Day, he'd make sure that the kids had balloons, flowers, gifts for me. I mean, there was, it was a nice transition.
Okay. And so you then were doing your own thing, doing lifestyle management. And how long did you do that?
I did it from 2005 until 2022 when, so Denny had investors in the company at that time.
And that was the company that we're talking about here.
Legal case funding, correct. And our son, AJ, was part of the expansion of the funding industry for Denny and myself. He had gone to U of A. He had gotten his degree. He went out in the work field, got a feel of what that was. And then he decided he wanted to start his own company. So he did that. And he convinced his dad, pulling at him, like, you need to automate some of this. You need a CRM to keep track of it. At that time, Denny just basically had
Like a notebook?
like a folder and a legal pad and no underwriting notes written on legal pad after legal pad. And it was so adorable because he's like, let's at least put it in a spreadsheet and, keep track of this. So Denny and AJ sat down and they got some things going there. And then
Because it grew quite, I mean, it's grown quite a bit. And I think AJ probably was
his systems and processes made it exactly expand.
It sounds like AJ modernized his
100%.
processes from legal pads to spreadsheets and CRMs,
Yes.
which is what you need.
Yes.
Because it also helps calculate interest and so forth.
Yes.
In that
everything is coming together and continues to come together. Communication with the law firms, the clients, it's beautiful.
And then, in 2022, I know it hit me unexpectedly. I know that it was unexpected. Denny passed away unexpectedly.
Yes, he did.
And at that time, you were doing the lifestyle management. AJ was helping Denny, and you had investors, or that business had investors that were depending, and also all these open cases with attorneys,
right?
Statewide, right?
Exactly.
So, what happens there? Did you go into mama bear mode?
I did. I went into. Have you ever heard the term sparrow in a hurricane?
No, but I want to learn about it.
Okay. Well, that was my life for almost a year and a half.
Wow.
I was a sparrow in a hurricane. I literally just locked in, just instinctively, because not only was this Denny's legacy, but it was something that he left for the kids. And I gave my business to my employees.
You mean, what does that mean? You gave your
I
business?
literally didn't even sell my lifestyle management business. I allowed my employees to inherit all of my business.
So that's real mama bear mode, because you just needed to.
In fact, the cookies I brought for your staff and you, one of the gal that made those cookies is actually somebody who I gave all of my clients to.
Oh, wow. Okay. And she makes cookies too.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to know. We always need cookies.
Yes.
Right? There's always cookies needed. So you gave the business away to your then team members that were helping you with the lifestyle business, and you jumped in.
I did.
And it had been a while, right? Because 2015 you signed off the business, and then now
2022.
And 2022. So 7 years, you're just saying, okay, here we go. I'm going to help.
AJ said, I gotcha. Like,
Okay.
I'm here. Let's do this. They need you to come on board and clean this up, do whatever you got to do to get it going, at least sustain it.
Okay.
So I did.
But you make it sound so easy. It does. I mean, but if you put it in perspective, going back to 2022, you must have been in survival mode, as far as, we need to make sure all the plaintiff attorneys know that I have this handled. I need to make sure my son has it handled because he's grieving over the loss of his dad.
He really didn't even have time.
He just didn't even have time.
No.
Did he? Do you think he ever grieved?
Yes, when he bought himself a brand new Mercedes. Because first of all, that's a Denny move. And I kept thinking, how is he going to afford this? But he figured it out.
Okay.
Like,
Motivates him.
yeah. And I'm like, we all make decisions in our 20s that we're just like, what? Like, you look back. But when he did that, I was kind of like half proud of him, but half worried.
Sure.
And I'm like, he just lost his dad. And if that helps him over that and grieve that, then yes. So I say that jokingly, but yes, he did grieve.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with that, and then you're dealing with a new business, letting go of your business, and essentially it sounds like you let go of a large part of your own life at that time in order to make sure that your children and these cases were well taken care of.
Yes, Christina. You couldn't have nailed it better.
So that's something, and I'll tell you, I laugh because that is something that women do instinctively,
Absolutely.
right? So, and I don't know if all women do it, but I know that many of the women that I surround myself with, um, Sophia included, she will do whatever they have to do to make things happen, especially if it involves their children. Right. So
Yes.
I've seen this woman take, and am I putting you on the spot? I've seen this woman take an awful situation with ex-spouse yet? Is this already or soon to be? Okay. Soon to be ex-spouse has been going on for many, many years. Take an awful situation with an awful person and manage to create this lovely, beautiful, inspiring environment for her kids.
Co-parenting.
Without when you don't have a co-parent,
Right.
right? In her situation, it was
Parallel parenting.
well, in that case, I mean, I'll refrain my thoughts, but I have a lot of like So Sophia and I have been together for so long. We've been through like marriages, divorces, kids, all that stuff, sicknesses, and so forth. She is like a godsend, and I think that's something that women do when it comes to an adversity or some situation that you are dealt with. We go into, we got to fix this,
Yes,
even if it means sacrificing yourself.
absolutely.
So you jump in 2022. Do you miss your lifestyle management business?
I do.
What do you miss most about it?
You know, I mean, I'm still helping people, but I was helping very affluent people,
Okay.
people that don't have the worries of everyday life, how to pay rent, make a car payment, get to a doctor's appointment. That's what I deal with now. So I'm still helping people. It was calmer, much more calming for me. I wasn't, there wasn't a need for me. Like they weren't pinging me 24/7. Like they knew they gave me a job. I put a schedule together. I didn't have any contact with them unless I needed something.
Okay.
So I just did my own thing. Things got done.
And so LCF, for those who don't know, legal case funding. So we'll use LCF because it's easier than saying legal case funding.
Yes,
But just make sure everyone's on the same.
Right.
thread. LCF was more, it is more
Demanding.
upbeat, fast.
Oh,
You got to deal with attorneys, clients, and so forth.
yes.
So you jump in, and I know LCF is doing fantastic. I know that a friend of mine is also involved in LCF, Chris Zacher.
Yes.
Right?
He's my CEO, which made perfect sense.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Chris Zacher, he is a, what's his, like 30-something year veteran trial attorney and business owner. He was probably one of the first people who took the time when I wanted to get into personal injury to go to lunch with me and sit down and explain to me what I needed to do to be a good trial attorney.
I love that. That is him.
Yeah.
I teased him. We were out in California when you were there.
Oh yeah, we ran into each other at AAJ.
At AAJ.
So I'm part of the the tech and science committee. I'm on their board, and I'm also on the products liability. I'm like the content curator. And I'm involved in the TBI group as well. So I go to AAJ, American Association of Justice. I become really involved. It's a national group of plaintiffs
Yes.
attorneys. And I was walking through the exhibitor hall, and I run into a familiar face, which is Chris's face. And it took me a second because I didn't expect to see him there because he has since stopped practicing law
Right.
under Zacher Law Firm. I know he has a couple cases that he still works with people, but I run into him, and then he introduced me to you. Like I knew I had already known you because Tammy Mills introduced me.
Correct.
Yes. And
Yes.
and I was so happy to see that you were working with him because he's such a great guy.
Oh, it's invaluable what he brings to, like, in May of 2025 is when Chris and I came together, and he was able to. I was looking for more capital investors to scale the business, and because number one, he's extremely knowledgeable with how to scale businesses, because look what he did.
Sure. Yeah,
Right.
of course.
And his knowledge of the legal practice, just having that source. He just full disclosure, he was my advisory counsel on any large cases I would get to do underwriting on. If I didn't feel like my underwriting team had that capacity, he was my advisory counsel, and it just made sense. I mean, his knowledge, his background, his relationships, the trust, that's what we're looking for.
So let's talk a little bit about what legal case funding means, right? Because that's that's what you do.
Absolutely.
So for attorneys who have not been open to legal case funding for their clients, or small bridge loans until the settlement comes because they think it's going to interfere with their settlement, or so forth. Tell us about like the process. I want you to take it away and let us know what it looks like.
There is a level of caution
Okay.
that these attorneys have that have never done them before,
Sure.
or whatever. They're very cautious because they think it's going to ruin their client's case. And I see that because as a paralegal myself, I would sit in these rooms at the end of the case where the attorney, the staff, the case managers, the paralegals worked really hard to get a settlement. And they're sitting there with the disbursement sheet, and they're showing the client, hey, this is what the law firm gets. This is how much we're going to pay your medical providers. And this is how much you would have gotten had you not taken out an advance against your settlement. And so now we're going to have to pay the pre-settlement loan company this amount, and this is what's left for you. The client needed that money. They were crying about being evicted, not being able to make a car payment, and they forget at the time that we were there to help them. So now they're sitting with their attorney, and now that attorney has faced that problem, like, well, you made this decision, we advised you against it. And I do tell my clients, I said, law firms will advise you against this. I have an advisement. I text them saying this is a last resort. Reach out to family, friends, whatever, to get whatever you need. Now, with that being said, I've also helped people that I can't fund by explaining to them that they can defer their car payments through the hardship program, through their loan company.
Sure.
They can contact their mortgage company, same thing, tell them that they've had a hardship, and they'll be able to put those loan payments on the back end. So I'm not like, I do those kind of things in addition to, if I can't help them, it's like there's some other resources there.
And for those who don't know, and for us who are in that personal injury world, I mean, it is astounding to hear the statistics of how many people today live paycheck to paycheck, right? So
Huge.
and knowing that we did bankruptcy, I mean, our office still does bankruptcy, but I spent my beginning half of my career doing bankruptcy. How a medical issue can cause someone to fall into bankruptcy because it's like a snowball effect that happens. And so when you're dealing in a car crash, or a fall, or some type of injury caused at the hands of a third party, you're essentially helpless because now you can't go to work. You're not cleared to go to work. You can't pay your bills. You are stuck. You don't have any savings, and you are essentially strangled because you need to make that next month's payments.
Yeah.
And they need that help. And there's no one they can turn to because oftentimes their family can't help them. Their friends can't help them. Maybe they do for some time, but depending on how severe the injury is, they may never be able to catch up, or they were already behind, right? So this is just like the nail in the coffin. Oftentimes clients will say, I can't afford this. I need help. What do I do? We've tried. And I'll tell you, I'll do it as a last resort because I don't want a client trying to use a funding company as a piggy bank either, because that's not fair
Exactly.
to the.
And that's where I feel like I'm different than other companies. I will observe the situation and be very conservative. I'd rather build that relationship with the law firm and the attorney. That's more important to me than the end result, which is making money. Like those relationships build the empire that eventually you're going to just greed overall. You cannot be greedy.
Sure.
And Denny and I had that understanding from the beginning.
Sure.
We're here to build relationships.
And to help.
Yes.
And so when clients will call and they'll say, okay, this is what I need, and there's no other resources, then they may turn to to an office like yourself, right? So legal case funding. And so they'll call, walk us through the process, what they do, and tell us about the vetting process for those that don't know.
So they'll call or they'll submit an application off our website, and then we get that application through our CRM. We reach out to them either through a phone call intake, or if they've already filled out the intake online, all of that information about their attorney, their paralegal, their injuries, how much they've treated, where they're treating, how much they need, why they need it. That's all gathered.
Okay.
From there, we reach out to the law firm and send an email to the staff and the attorney to gather case facts and information. Has liability been accepted? Do you have a police report? What are the med specials? Med specials meaning,
Medical bills that have incurred.
So we'll evaluate everything once all of that gets in there, and we'll do our underwriting based on all of that. I take.
And when you say underwriting, that's the process to determine whether or not the person will qualify for the loan based on their injuries, based on the available insurance limits, and essentially the attorney that's involved that's handling the case as well.
Exactly.
Because I know you vet them too.
Yes, we do. we
Had
have
to throw it out there.
We do. We have a scoring mechanism built into our CRM that shows us which law firms, grades A through F.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we won't talk about the actual scoring,
But so the underwriting takes place. The feedback from the law firm, it's personal injury is when you're doing this, it's an incredibly emotional process. So the emotional part of it for me or my intake staff is one-on-one with these clients. They're crying, they're homeless, they're living in a hotel, whatever. But you have to be disciplined enough. And that's where I call myself the CEO of common sense.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about that.
You have to be disciplined enough and responsible enough to make the right underwriting calls there.
Yeah.
If it were up to my heart, everyone would get a loan.
And the reason why you have to vet and be diligent about who you loan out funds to is because in the event that there is no settlement or the case goes south or whatever it may be,
we don't get paid.
you don't get paid back.
No.
So that's what the non-recourse portion of it is.
Correct.
So you're putting yourself out there to help these families that are in need. Of course, there's an interest rate that comes into play. But in the event that something happens, then you are willing to walk away. And you're also willing to resolve it with the attorney in the event that it doesn't settle as favorably as you wanted to.
Correct.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay.
And then at that point, if they do get approved, then there's a process where the contract will be emailed to the client, then sent to the attorney. Now, the attorney signs the contract only as an acknowledgement to the lien.
Okay.
Okay, so they acknowledge the lien. They put it in there. They get it sent to their email. They put it in the client file. We follow up in 3 months.
Okay.
We follow up in 6 months to see what's happening. So that, and then when it settles, the law firm reaches out for a payoff letter and we send it. And
And easy as that.
yes,
Okay. And this is all pre-settlement.
we do post settlement as well.
Okay.
So if a case is settled, we have different. It's a whole different product. We do flat fee funding.
Okay.
If there are adequate funds available, we won't advance the entire post settlement because we want them to show up to sign.
Sure.
Right. But let's say they need a couple $1,000s. We charge $150 per thousand.
Okay.
For 60 days. That gives the law firm time to negotiate those liens and disperse.
And now, what is, if you don't mind me asking,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to answer it, what's the minimum loan that a client can request and the maximum that they can request?
$500 is our minimum.
Okay.
And
There's no ceiling.
there's no ceiling.
Okay.
So we also do litigation funding for law firms,
For the attorneys.
for the attorneys. So if they need a witness,
An expert.
an expert witness, and they need help there.
Okay.
We've also funded a brain surgery where the doctor did the surgery on the lien, but the facility wouldn't do it on a
Okay.
lien. So we funded the facility fees. And we fund in over 40 states.
Oh, I didn't realize that you had expanded over Arizona.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So 40 states. So that's 10 that not yet in.
Well, 10 that don't, well, there's about 8 that don't allow it.
Okay.
And the other states, you have to get licensed and go through all of that. And we're just not at that point. We funded Nevada, California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. I'm from Nebraska, so we have a few cases there.
So if someone's someone's listening and says, you know what, this is a company because they have a seasoned trial attorney on staff. They have someone who has experienced since 2005 doing this. They are almost nationwide besides the states that they're not allowed to do it. And then the other 2 that need licensing. How do they find you?
Legalcasefunding.com.
Okay.
You can reach us that way. There's a phone number there. Send an email.
Okay. What's your email?
The email is hello@legalcasefunding.com.
Okay.
It's simple. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so we've come to this point where I'm going to ask you some questions. They are quick fire questions.
Sure.
Have you seen, I know you've watched a couple of episodes.
I have.
Okay. I know I heard you say that. And so this will allow me to ask you some questions about you.
Awesome.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Shoot.
What motivates you more? Proving people wrong or proving yourself right?
Proving myself.
When do you feel most like yourself? What are you doing?
What am I doing? Oh, I'm hiking
Yeah.
in the mountains, just connecting with nature.
Would you say mountains more than
Yes.
water?
Yes.
Okay. What does a meaningful life look like to you?
Good question. Success, but being humble.
Okay.
And I put God first,
Amen.
always.
What's something you've done that people would be surprised to learn? We don't have to get.
Okay. No. This is so the big joke when I was growing up was how many W-2s I had attached to my income tax return at the end of the year. So I've done some really crazy things. Like I always had 2 or 3 jobs at one time. I was very motivated. One of the things I did between high school and college is I worked at a packing house.
Packing what?
Like I boned rib cages. I worked at a meat packing
place. Oh.
I grew up in Nebraska, guys. And I
So you're about cattle.
cattle. Yes.
Okay, that
So
I didn't
that's
expect that.
shocking.
You're
Yes.
saying packing. I'm like, oh, she's packing.
Meat packing.
stuff. Okay,
No.
meat packing.
Yes, I still had braces on when I graduated from high school, so I showed up there.
Well, you surprised me with that answer. I did not expect that. So, yay to you.
Yes.
Have you ever taken a risk that scared you but paid off?
Oh yes, every day.
Every day.
Every day I get up and clock into my computer.
What's one rule that you've broken but you're so happy you did?
Probably working with close people that are friends of mine.
Yeah.
The trust there. I always said, I'm not going to work with, I'm going to look outside the scope of individuals. But honestly, knowing their personalities and their work ethic has paid off tremendously.
And last question. If you can talk to yourself 5 years ago, what would you say to yourself?
Get ready for the ride.
Are you enjoying the ride?
I am.
Good. Well,
I've got good people around me.
I am so happy for you.
Thank God.
For those who need or want to learn more or want to talk to Paula because she's a great person, find Paula Fosbinder at legalcasefunding.com.
Yes.
And hello at legalcasefunding.com. For everyone out there, till next time, thank you.